Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing something just a little bit different. I'm going to be using some Delumars colors and we're going to be doing some chroming. I'm going to do a couple of sugar nails because I've been getting a lot of questions on how to do sugar nails. So we are going to do them in this video. Now I did do this nail set for Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day, which was last Tuesday. But I'm still sticking to the one video a week right now just because it just works the best right now with everything I've got going on, which is pretty much nothing right now, just a lot of house stuff. I do have some videos that are coming up next week. It'll probably be 2 videos this week and 2 videos next week because Sundara is doing a drop. And I cannot wait to show y'all everything. But I'm just kind of showing you guys the colors. I picked out a chromable blue, a chromable pink, and then a really pretty glitter that has, it's mainly blue with little pink specks in it. And so when you look in the lid and it does something like that, gives it like a nice sheen, like almost like a glow per se, that lets you know that the dip is going to be chromable. So I'm going to be using the peel base underneath the powder. So basically on top of my top coat that I have now. And I'm going to be using the gel method. I'm going to use gel base and gel top coat because I just find that to just be easier when I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to do some chroming and sugaring. I just find that it just works out easier. So I am going to go ahead and start with the peel base. Now, I also have a blue finger rest and a pink bottle holder. The blue finger rest is actually a color that glows, and the pink was just released in the neons. So they are from Liquid Layers if you wanted to check them out. So what I'm doing now before putting the peel base on is I'm going to wipe my nails off with isopropyl alcohol just to make sure that all of the oils, the dust, anything that could have gotten on there is not on there. And then I'm just going to let it dry a little bit before putting the peel base on. Now I'm going to put a thin layer, but not so thin that I'm dragging through and I can see like the strokes in it. So a lot of people have used different kinds of peel base. A lot of people are familiar with the UNT peel base from Amazon, but like that's always sold out. And the UNT is clear, so it goes on clear and it dries. And I have a impatience problem where I don't like to wait that long, or I don't know how long is long enough to wait. So I prefer this peel base because it goes on white, but it will dry completely clear when it is ready, like ready to be having something on top. So I like that aspect. Now, I do know a bunch of places sell peel base that is white and turns clear, but also you can use Elmer's glue, like not the colored kind, just get the old school white Elmer's glue. And I remember growing up using the Elmer's glue, putting it on the back of my hand, letting it dry completely, and then just like peeling it off and like pulling my hair out on the back of my hand. I don't know, weird generation, but that Elmer's glue, it works the same way. You put the Elmer's glue on. You can use just one of the a gel brush that you have, or any kind of nail brush that you have, to just put the glue on and wait for it to dry, and it'll be completely clear when it dries, and then you'll be ready to do anything you'd like on top. So I'm just kind of leaving this step in because I get a lot of questions on how I apply the peel base, where I apply the peel base, and everything like that. So I also recorded the pop off of this set as well. Now, I didn't apply as much on the thumb as I would have wanted, but I applied enough so it worked pretty fine. So I also have that video coming next week of the pop off method, or I may upload it later this week. Undecided on the exact date, but probably next Tuesday, because I do the gel method with dip powder on this hand, and then on my other hand I do just gels. So I wanted to show you the difference of using the same peel base, how the pop off or peel off goes with both different, I guess different mediums, I guess you could say. So the thumb was already kind of started to dry, but like I said, I didn't really put enough on there when I found that out when I went to pop off everything, that it wasn't quite enough. But As I was waiting for this to dry, my baby needed a diaper change. So yeah, I buffed the pinky a little bit off on her diaper, so it is not quite all the way dry yet. But all the rest of them are completely dry, but I just wanted to make sure that I applied a little bit more on the pinky just to make sure that nothing would get stuck on the nail when I went to go do the pop off. So all I'm going to do now is I am going to pour all the powders into all of the containers that I'm going to be using. These little containers are so handy when using dip powder or acrylic powders, or if I'm using glitters. It's just super handy to have it just in a small, something a little bit bigger than the container that it's in, so that I can kind of spread everything out. And there's a little, I guess you call it like a dent, a little divot, an opening, or whatever you want to call it on the side, so that you can lay your finger in there very easily. So right now I'm just going to kind of put all my powders in that I'm going to be using, just stirring them up just a little bit to make them a little easier to dump out, because sometimes the powder will settle in the jar and it might not dump out as easy, and then when it dumps out, it'll like all dump out at once and make a big cloud or mess or whatever. So just stir up the powder just a little bit to loosen it up and dump your desired amount in there. So this is the smaller size Flexi Boat, and it holds a 0.25 of dip powder, which is a quarter size. There is a larger size that holds a 0.5, but I would not recommend pouring a whole ounce into there. And also, usually an ounce jar is big enough to dip into, or only pour some of it out. You will never need that much for one nail set. Even if you're doing 3 hands, you'll like an ounce will last you a long time, a very long time. So I find that I like the smaller size. I have some of the medium sizes for when I do like a clear layer, but we are going to get back to the current set. Now that we have all the colors poured out, I was still kind of unsure what I was going to do where, but using gel method, I decided that I was just going to do all of the colors at once, which is why I put them all in the boats. And I wanted to just go ahead and do a sugar nail on the thumb, the ring finger, and the pinky. So I do the glitter, one layer of glitter, lay down a layer of gel base, do one layer of glitter on the thumb, the ring finger, and the pinky. I make sure to clean out the cuticle line really well, make sure that everything is laying nice and flat. And then the second layer is where I actually sugar it. I just find that the sugaring look is like not for everybody, because like even when I had it on for a few days, I think I left it on for like 3 or 4 days. Y'all, that sugar nail is not for everybody. Sweater nails, all that it's just not, because I kept catching it on the laundry. It gives you that like dry hands on a microfiber towel feel, and it gets stuck on just like the sweater. It's just, the texture is just not for everybody. But I mean, I've been getting so many questions on how to do it, so I figured I would just do a quick little video of doing it, because I love the look. Now the sugared look looks like I literally just dumped my hand, dunked it in sugar. Like that's just what it looks like, sugar or salt or something of that nature. Like when you're cooking and your hands are a little wet and you get sugar on your hands and or salt and it just sticks. That's like the look that it gives. Now the way the glitter shines is like a different look from when you put a top coat on it as well. So it's really just kind of whatever look you're going for. But it is fall. It is time for sugar nails. It is time for sweater nails. Sugaring snowflakes for Christmas time or winter time, that is like the perfect look, because it looks like fallen snow on your nails. It's just so pretty. And the way that it just shines, it gives you that like fresh snow look. Anyway, I'm going to dip my finger in to the color with the base coat on my nail. And you just want to be really careful when you do that, because if you hit the nail, it will like scuff up the base coat. Like it'll knock some of it off and you'll have like a line or a wrinkle in it. So you just want to be careful when you're dipping into it. And then just clean up your cuticle line, press all the glitters down, clean up the sidewalls just a little bit, just to make sure everything is kind of laying flat. because anything that's not flat will even be more annoying than it already is going to be. So you want to minimize the annoyingness that you're going to have. And then, sometimes they can like scratch you really weird, like if the glitters are sticking up at a weird angle. But I dipped it in again because I noticed that some of the gel base was kind of like poking through. So I went ahead and just made sure that it was fully covered. Now I'm going to cure this layer and wipe off or brush off any excess, but I'm going to do one layer on all of the nails before I put it in the lamp. Because even though I have like the protective layer, like I've been trying to make sure to put sunscreen on before I do my nails, like at least on my hands, because as my husband so lovely pointed out, I have this age spot on my other hand that just came up out of nowhere because I guess I'm getting old. He's got the gray hair and I guess I'm getting the age spots. I don't know if I would trade with him. But I've been trying to make sure to at least put the layer of sunscreen on my hands while they're going in the lamp to get that extra protection from the UV light. But I'm going to do the same thing that I did on my ring finger. I did speed it up, or the same thing I did on my thumb, but I'm just going to speed it up a little bit. And then I'm also going to do one dip into the blue and one dip into the pink. And then I will come back. I think, no, actually, no, before I do that, I cure this and then I go ahead and I think I finish the sugar nails. I don't know, but I guess I'm not gonna have you watch for a second. I don't know. I guess I'll just kind of keep talking about what I'm doing because I guess like right here is like kind of important. So you really want to make sure that you are really fixing up where the cuticle line is. Like I spend a lot of time fixing that up before I cure because once you cure, you kind of set it in place. And with it being a glitter that I'm sugaring, when you start filing or if you miss anything around your cuticle line and you need to file, the glitter is not going to be encapsulated so that if you do too much filing, you're going to file into the glitter. Like, and most glitters are silver on the inside. And if that's not the color that you're looking for, then you really don't want to do a lot of filing on the glitter itself. So like right there with the pinky, I realized that I like wiped too much off the cuticle line. So I just ended up dipping my finger back in and it ended up filling in that spot that I wanted. But this is just one dip into the color and it's really pretty just like this. But I wanted more of a punch of the blue to match the blue that I'm going to be putting on the other nail. So that's the one layer. And I wanted to make sure that I went back and I checked the thumb one more time. And I'm really glad I did because I saw like some stuff that needed to be cleaned off. Because once it's on there, once you cure it, y'all, it is on there. And whatever is on there is just going to be stuck. So do I go ahead and do the other ones? I do. I could have let y'all just watch. Oh man, I didn't even know what I was doing. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get a layer of the blue on, do the same thing. And I get a layer of the pink. Now I'm only going to do one base layer before I sugar and before I chrome. So I really try to make them as perfect as I can. Cure them for a full 60 seconds to make sure everything is good to go. And then I will be back when it comes time to sugar and chrome. Alright, so now everything is cured, and I'm going to take this stiff duster brush and I'm just going to dust off all the excess. Now, curing it for 60 seconds allowed anything that was going to stick to stick, and I just want to make sure that I've gotten up any of the excess that is going to come off at all, especially on those glitter nails. And this mat is super good to put underneath when you're doing that, because then you can just like knock it off in the trash and nothing will be on your desk. So I love this little flexible mat. All right, so now we are going to sugar these nails. But before we do that, we want to clean up the cuticle line. So I take these thin little vials that I get in the little manicure packs, and I just go around the cuticle line, go around the sidewall, and just kind of make sure that everything is as flat and as perfect around there from that first layer. And then we're going to get into the sugaring. So for sugaring nails, you put the base of your choice. I do suggest putting a base coat color of some kind, even if it's cleared. I mean, it doesn't have to be a color. You can put a gel color down, you can put a clear, just something underneath the nail sugaring part, I guess I would say it, so that it has something to grab onto. I suggest a color that kind of matches or that you want to show through. Just because sometimes that first layer won't pick up exactly that sugaring layer won't pick up exactly how you want it to. Sorry, y'all, the baby had something in her shoe. But I suggest always putting a base color down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that's either cured or activated or what have you. Not necessarily activated. I'll have to do it differently when I do it with dip powders. But for gel, you want to make sure that you cure that layer fully. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pull your nail out, make sure it's kind of like shaped up and looking all right. And then you're going to put a top coat down and cover the entire nail. You're going to pour over or dip your nail into that sugar glitter that you want to use. And then you're going to just press it down. You're going to make sure that, press it down just a little bit and just make sure that it is everywhere that you want it to be on the nail. And then it's pressed down to your liking and all of that. And then you're going to cure it. And after it's fully cured, you just take your nail out of the lamp and brush off everything with a stiff brush, and then it will be sugared. So I will let you watch me while I do that on my 3 nails, and I will be back when it is time to do the chroming. Alright, so now I'm going to put a layer of gel base coat down on the nails just so that I can make sure that they have a super smooth surface for when I'm doing the chrome. All I did was the one layer of the color and I cured it. And now I'm going to put the layer of gel base coat so that I can make sure that I have a little bit of a barrier on that goes in like any of the creases, cracks, crevices, anything that needs to be filled. The gel base coat will take care of that. I'm going to put one decent layer of the gel base coat and then I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds and then I'm going to take my nail out. I'm going to wipe off the inhibition layer and then I'm going to buff the nails very smooth. And then it will be time to chrome. All right, so this part is probably the most important part about chroming. So, chroming requires a very smooth top coat. So, when you are applying the top coat that you are going to chrome on top of, you want to make sure that no dust, no dirt, nothing gets in that top coat because once you cure it and you go to chrome over it, you will see every speck of dust. Now, for me, I feel like all the dust flies in the air the moment I go to do this top coat because, like, chroming for me, just like sometimes it's just impossible. Now, there are different top coats that you can use. There are non-gel ways to chrome as well, which I will be showing very, very, very soon for all of my people that cannot use gel. I have just been trying it out on some swatches with a couple of different items just so that I can make sure that it's perfect before I show you. But for me, I can use just a regular gel top coat. It's all about finding that sweet spot. All right. So for this particular top coat from Daisy Dips, I have found that 20 seconds is a very good cure time in my lamp to get the chrome to look chrome. Now, I do majority of the time use the Born Pretty Mirror Chrome top coat since I've gotten it because it's 30 seconds, no playing around. Cure time and then it goes perfect. But I've been wanting to just use my regular gel top coats as well. So I cured for 20 seconds. I pull my finger out of the lamp. I dip my finger into the dip powder very carefully. I cannot stress that enough. Very carefully. And then, or you can pour it over if you're more comfortable, but I was fine this way. And then you're just going to want to rub in the powder very carefully as well again, because if you scratch it by accident, like if your nail bumps into the nail when you're chroming, you will just have a scratch in the chrome and you don't want that. So just be very careful. I usually rub in with my finger and then I'll grab a beauty sponge, one of those triangle beauty sponges, and then I will fill in the rest. Like not necessarily fill it in, but like I'll rub in the rest of the chrome powder. That's just my preference on what I like to do at the end when I'm chroming, just because I feel like it gives it that extra, just super shine look. So that is how we are looking. I'm just gonna finish up the chroming, and then after I chrome, so chroming is makes the top very slick on the nail. So you're gonna want to put something on top of that. Now you can use a gel base coat, but I prefer to use a rubber base coat because it's a little bit thicker and it just is super sticky. And I find that it works really well over chrome because you don't want to put a top coat directly on top of the chrome, or I don't, because I found that the top coat doesn't stick as well and it chips or peels a lot faster. So I would suggest either a base coat or a rubber base coat over top of the chrome. Just because for me personally, I found that it holds the top coat on better. So the glitter nails are already done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a top, like say I pulled out the top coat that I was going to use, but I wanted to make sure to let you know that I am going to put a rubber base coat. I like this one from NSI. I just found that it's just, I bought a few bottles of it and I'm just trying to go through it. I love it. So I'm going to put that on and then I put the top coat on and look at the nails, y'all. I love how they came out. And I'm just showing you how easy it is to pour the powder back in from the Flexi Boat into the container after I get done. It just makes life a lot easier. And then I can just brush out the Flexi Boat and it's ready for use for next time. So there's no throwing away a cupcake liner, there's no waste in the powder, and I just can pour everything back in there and clean it out for next use. And I love that they're reusable. I use them all the time. I have about 10 or 12 of them and I just love them. It makes swatching really easy and all that. But I'm just gonna clean out those and they'll be ready for next time and just put them away. Like just use my duster brush and clean them out and they're ready to go. But I really wanted to show y'all the chroming and the sugar nails in the same look because I thought that would be really cool. Like you get two different looks in one. Like I like the roughness of the sugar nail with the sleekness of the chrome. I just felt like that looked really, really good together. But I also wanted to show a tutorial of doing both and using dip powders to do so. So there are some dip powders or acrylic powders that are chromable. Like you don't have to buy a specific chrome. Now you can use these dip powders to chrome over gel polish. You can use them to chrome just the same way as you use chrome powder. They're that good. Also, y'all, if you have a silicone table mat, you need to invest in a lint roller because it cleans up everything off of your table very easily. I just clean up any powder that I spilled, any dust or anything like that. I've just cleaned it all up off my table and it just works so great. It's just a regular lint roller from the dollar store or from Walmart or wherever. Now I'm just going to clean off any excess dip powder off my nails with I put 91% alcohol in that squirt bottle. And then after that, they're all clean. All of the powder came off. Any excess glitter came off. Everything kind of came off. So everything is looking good. And now all I have to do is refresh the cuticle area because my hands are so dry. And I'm going to put on some cuticle oil. Delumars has amazing cuticle oils. If you don't want to buy anything else from them, go check out their cuticle oils because they are really good for your hands. My daughters love them. I've been using them on my daughters for a while now. I've probably had the oils for about 2 months now. This is just a new scent that I picked up. But here are all the colors I used again, and the sun is peeking through my window right there. So that actually ended up catching the nails and looking really pretty. But these are the 3 colors that I picked up from Delumars to do this nail set. And here's a quick sneak peek of the nails in the sun. They are so pretty. I love how the glitter and the chrome was just able to be shown at the end with them. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope y'all are enjoying my Tuesday uploads. I'm doing the Tuesday evening uploads because that's what y'all asked for in my community tab. So I'm going to stick with that. Look for another video this week. Here is the view in the sun. I just had to show you. This is just at my desk in the sun, and the shine on that, I couldn't do that with my camera if I wanted to. So that's just the quick and easy tutorial for how to do chrome with dip powder, how to do a sugar nail, just pretty much the basics. You know, I'm going to go try to do stuff without gels because I know some of y'all can't use them. But I hope that cleared up any questions y'all may have. If you have any other ones, leave them in the comments for me. But I hope y'all have a great day, and I will catch y'all in the next video.